Honestly, forget what I gotta say this video because y'all gotta see this. Look at this. Khalil Ware catches the lob off the backboard and right on Alexander Sarr and gets the mean mug flex, boy. Saying, you were the first big man taken in the draft? You big bum. Oh my God, listen, for a game that the Heat pretty much dominated from start to finish, I actually have quite a few takeaways, but perhaps none of them are bigger than the fact that Alexander Sarr is cheeks. He really is. And I kind of feel bad saying it because he still is a kid, and I'm a grown man sitting in my bedroom talking about basketball, but he's terrible. Oh my God, he was having such a rough night. He's having a pretty rough season. He has shown flashes, but I remember back in the summer league, I think he had a game where he shot 0 for 10, and he was so bad that he literally switched his number going into the next game. Have you ever seen someone be so bad that they switched their number? Oh my God. And then tonight, he was missing shots left and right, missing layups. And then Khalil Ware just put the cherry on top with the two-handed. Y'all said Khalil Ware was skinny? Not that time. Ooh, not that time. But the Miami Heat got another double-digit lead where actually not only are they on a 5-game winning streak, but a 5-game winning streak by double digits? Who would have thought? Because, of course, you had that game versus the Hornets. Then you kicked the Warriors' ass. You beat the Hawks by 10. You kicked Philly's ass. You kicked the Wizards' ass. So, obviously, not a great stretch of teams that you were playing here. I do respect the Hawks win because that's a team that you are kind of jousting for position with, although they are missing, like, Jalen Johnson. The Warriors were missing Steph Curry. I know. But you can only beat who's on your schedule. And tonight was a TCB, take care of business night. Now, how many times have the Heat not taken care of business? A lot. More times than not, maybe. So when they do take care of business, I am very happy. Obviously, it doesn't change my overall opinion on the team this stretch. But that being said, they do take on the Boston Celtics on Wednesday. So if you go into Boston, because it is on the road, if Boston has both of the Jays playing, if they got Porzingis and or Holiday, if they just got most of their guys playing, and if you beat them, hey, maybe I'll feel a little bit better about this team. I did end yesterday's video in which I did a breakdown of Tyler Hero's recent great play. But in that video, I ended it by saying that maybe the Heat could beat the Cavs in 5. Who knows? That's just kind of where my mind's at and how quickly I flip with the roller coaster of the season that it is. You just hope they're not peaking too soon. But either way, we know the rest of the regular season is quite meaningless because the Heat really can't finish higher than 7. They have a slight shot, but they'll probably finish anywhere between 8 and 10. I do know the Bulls and the Heat were tied record-wise, and the Bulls had OKC tonight. Oh my God, they're getting their ass kicked. They're down 36 at the time of this recording. So I do think the Heat will jump back into 9 after tonight, but it's all going to come down to that play-in. Now, I do want them to lose the play-in. I would like that top draft pick. Cooper Flagg's been playing pretty well. Just made it to the Final Four at the time of this recording. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm just glad that the Heat are playing well. I'm glad that the Heat's guys are playing well. Obviously, Tyler Hero has been shooting insane over the last week. He got robbed of Player of the Week by Paolo Banchero. But tonight, it was Bam Adebayo who had 28 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 11 of 19, hit a couple of deep threes, just pulling them with no hesitation. Earlier in the season, we couldn't get him to shoot. After all offseason saying, I'm going to be a shooter, was in the Olympics. They were calling him the third Splash Brother. LeBron was saying it. Then he came to this season, he didn't want to shoot. Well, now Bam Adebayo is finally shooting, and he's hitting them too, most importantly. Shot 5 of them tonight at a 40% clip. And it was nice to see him come out the gate aggressive. I think he had like 16 first quarter points. And funny enough, if you remember, Bam's first big game this season was in Mexico versus the Wizards, where he dropped 32 points. So obviously he looks at them like baby food. I think Pelle Larsson's season high was also versus the Wizards, and he had another great game tonight. Which Pelle, my God, second straight start. Obviously, he was phenomenal last game. Today, 15.7 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 of 13 shooting. Continues to stuff the stat sheet. I'm just really impressed with a lot of guys. And before we get into my notes in this game, I want to shout out Terry Rozier. I have to, because with no Davion Mitchell tonight, he was out with a stomach bug. Still have no Duncan, still have no Wiggins. Obviously, Nikola Jovic is out. You got a lot of run for Terry and a lot of run for Jaime. Now, actually, both of those two guys played garbage time with Josh Christopher and Isaiah Stevens. So it's kind of funny. And Kashad Johnson, it's funny because you had all the young guys, Jaime, Stevens, Christopher, and Kashad. And then Terry Rozier was out there with them. So kind of tells you what Terry Rozier's out in the rotation. I kind of feel bad for him because just before we get into his numbers, I think he's a good guy, right? All season, we know he's been struggling. We've been hard on him, but it's never been personal. There has been a few, well, some of it might have been personal, but it's jokes, for the most part. He's had a few off the court issues. There was some drama, and there was obviously the whole FBI investigation. But as far as locker room guy, you haven't heard anything about him being a bad locker room guy. All of his teammates seem to love him. Even when he was riding the bench these last couple of weeks, he is always up there celebrating, enjoying his teammates' success. You can't forget back when Amen Thompson ragdolled Tyler Hero. Terry was the first one to go in there and stand up for his teammates. So as far as a teammate, I think he's incredible. I think he's an awesome teammate, and you can tell that because the guys really like him. Even Jimmy Butler liked Terry Rozier. And Jimmy Butler didn't like no one on the Heat besides Kevin Love. So what does that tell you? Terry Rozier is just a super likable guy. I even liked he was talking to Ira Winderman just yesterday or the day before, and about his role on the team. Terry Rozier said, listen, what I do doesn't really fit what we need right now, and I'm just going to try to make it work and do what the team needs best. This is super mature quote. He's basically saying, hey, I get it. It's not my time right now. They don't need me. I understand that, and I'm cool with it. And that's just an awesome, respectful answer by Terry Rozier. So, yeah, he sucks on the basketball court, but I got to give him credit somehow as a teammate. He's a great teammate. And tonight he actually played really well, given his opportunity. He was able to play 32 minutes tonight, had 15, 5, and 6, shot 5 of 11, hit 3 3-pointers. As some of his passes were really nice too. But part of the reason that I really need to give him praise is because he had a jump ball earlier in the game with him and 7-foot Alex Sarr. And I guess I just talked all this trash about how much of a bum Sarr is. But I said if Terry Rozier wins this jump ball versus that 7-footer, I have all respect for him for life. And he won the jump ball. Now, is that more of a credit to how ass Sarr is or how good Terry is? I don't know. But yeah, Jaime Jaquez on the other hand, not as great. Jaime Jaquez tonight, 25 minutes, 14 and 7, shot 6 and 9. So he was very efficient, but still looks a little bit lost out there defensively, although the numbers would tell you he had a good night. I do want to say, though, because I do got some notes for this game, obviously not a lot, but I want to say about Jaime Jaquez, though, I do believe in him. I understand that when I say he's only a sophomore, he's a 23-year-old sophomore, so he's not one of the super young guys in this league. But I don't think you're a finished product second year in the league. I don't. And I think Jaime Jaquez was too good last year just to be a bad player in the NBA. So I believe in him going forward. The issue with him is he was a guy who was primarily driving last year, needed a lot of post touches, which he was able to get a lot of post touches because obviously Jimmy missed a lot last season. Tyler missed a lot last season. You don't have Jimmy now, but you got some other guys that are handling the ball. So he's not quite getting the touches that he was last season. And then when he is, he's kind of been figured out. Guys know that he likes to go on the post, do his little spin move. It's hard to up fake guys when guys know you're going to pump fake them, basically. And I think the next step in developing his game is getting to that 3-point shot because now it can really open up his game, give him more spacing, provide space for everyone else. So obviously players can't just pack the paint when he has the ball because they need to guard him at the 3-point line. And tonight, Jaime Jaquez did hit 2 threes. We heard in the offseason he was actually working on his 3-pointers a ton. I remember he came into this season, hit like his first 6 threes. So I'm thinking, oh, wow, in one offseason, Jaime Jaquez became a great 3-point shooter. He kind of fell off a cliff since then. My point is, you don't become a great 3-point shooter overnight. It takes a couple years to work on that. And I want to check his 3-point percentage this year. Yes, it's only 30%. Where last year he was at 32. And last year he took 3 threes a game. This year he's taking 2. So he's taking less threes per game. It's at a worse percentage. Not exactly what you're looking for, but I don't think you just learn to shoot overnight. It will take a couple years, like I'm saying, and I do believe in him going forward. That's clearly going to be the thing that he works on most this offseason. In addition to that, I'd like to really see him work on his lateral quickness because he is too poor a defender for a guy of his size, 6'6", 225. That's a nice frame. He's not the most athletic, but he was athletic enough to be in a dunk contest, so theoretically has the intangibles to be a solid to above average defender in this league, and he's nowhere close to that at this point. So I think a lot of that might be his lateral quickness. So lateral quickness, corner three-point shooting, we'll say. Those are the two things that I'd like to see Jaime Jaquez work on this offseason. Now, I interrupt this video to tell y'all about something that you're definitely going to want to hear about, because let's be honest, things aren't so great with the Miami Heat right now, but that's okay because March Madness is here and every game is a chance to cash in. And y'all know I'm locked in, so I got to dabble a little bit in the sports betting. So what better way to do that than with MyBookie's Bet and Get program, where when you bet on a March Madness game, you get a surprise reward. That could be cash back, bonus chips, free bets. You never know what's coming next. And as Heat fans, y'all should be locked in too, because truthfully, we're probably going to have a very high draft pick, but I'm good with that because Cooper, Flag, VJ, Edgecombe, all the top prospects are looking amazing. So make sure y'all get in on the action with MyBookie and sign up using promo code MM50. That's MM50. And that will allow you to boost your bankroll with a deposit bonus to make sure you get the most out of your money. And if you don't want the deposit bonus, that's okay too. Just make sure to let them know that I sent you. So bet on any game, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. Now, let's get back into the video. Getting into the game, we had Bam with a strong first half. Pelle Larsson came out the gate, took like the first 3 shots. A lot of his stuff was off-ball cuts. Same thing we saw in yesterday's video. We did a breakdown of Tyler Hero's game, but see, he had some nice passes off Pelle cutting back door. Pelle's just such a smart player with and without the ball. You can't teach that. You can't teach that kind of IQ. You can't teach his hustle that he displays every night. But yeah, Pelle came out the gate strong. So did Bam Adebayo. And funny enough, although the Heat were up 11 at halftime, the three-point shooting sucked. Today as a whole, the Heat only shot 9 of 32 from 3. That's 28%. That's funny because they've been shooting lights out for the last 4 games or so. So you knew that there was going to be, or I guess the whole winning streak, last 5 games total. So you knew there was going to be some regression, and it's nice that the regression came tonight, where it's not such a great team. So hopefully they can shoot a little bit better versus Boston. But truth of the matter is, when it comes to a season, you're never as bad as you were at your lowest. You're never as great as you are at your best. So I don't think the Heat are 10 games in a row bad. I don't think they're 5 straight wins in a row good either. Same could be said for a guy like Tyler Hero. When he came into the season shooting 45% from 3, you knew it wasn't sustainable. You knew a slump was coming. I didn't think it'd be as long as it was for him. But obviously, he's kind of seen through the other side of that. Where he didn't have as hot a game tonight, but still 27 points on 9 and 19 shooting, 47%. It's good enough, and box score wise, 27, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, very, very solid game overall. Only 2 turnovers. So you like to see that from him as well. But yeah, bad 3-point shooting tonight, still up 11 at the half. The Heat would end up going up 20 in the third. And then Jordan Poole went crazy, hit 4 straight 3-pointers. That's a guy that I'm not a fan of at all. His shot selection is terrible. Once in a while, he'll get hot like he did tonight. But then he hit a monster 3, and he's out there pointing at the crowd, celebrating like, fam, you're down 19. Like, I think after his 4-3, the Wizards were still down 16. What are you celebrating for? It's just kind of lame to me is all. But to his credit, the Heat did call timeout. And immediately after the timeout, Jordan Poole picked Pelle Larsson's pocket and got an and one layup on the other end. So low-key, I thought that he might have brought them all the way back, but they were missing some other Heat killers tonight. They didn't have Corey Kispert playing. I saw Bilal Coulibaly was in street close too. He's a very good young player for them. So no Chris Middleton tonight, obviously, another Heat killer. So yeah, they're very clearly in tank mode, and the Heat took care of business. But eventually the Heat, they would withstand Jordan Poole's run, go up 17 after the third, and then the fourth quarter was pretty much all the young guys. You had the Ware dunk on Sarr, and then you had Terry Rozier actually throw a lob to Jaime Jaquez in transition. So that gave me the goosies just because those two guys have obviously struggled a lot this year. So to see them have that kind of connection was really fun. It really was. To run through the box score real quick here, you have Pelle Larsson. We talked about Bam. Khalil Ware, another great rebounding night, 11 for him. 6 points to add to that. Burks only got to play 17 minutes. He was 1 of 5. Nothing wrong with that. Obviously, he's been on fire of late. Haywood Highsmith, 2 points. We talked about Terry. Kyle Anderson, 15, 5, and 6. Oh, no, that's Terry's numbers. Kyle Anderson, 10 points, 4 rebounds. And then Jaime Jaquez, we gave his numbers as well. And once again, nice to see the Isaiah Stevens and Josh get some run. Although they haven't scored yet this season, or at least in the last 2 games. I'd really like to see Stevens at least get his first NBA bucket. But yeah, Remains to be seen what the rotation will be as we come into this home stretch. Wiggins is potentially coming back at some point this road trip. We heard Duncan Robinson's back issue is not the same one as last season. They said Spo said it's not as bad. Nikola Jovic was supposed to get reevaluated about right now, and I heard he was progressing well. Obviously, it was just a hand injury for him. So while he might have some rust on the shot, you don't expect any rust on the legs. I'm sure he was working those out. And when those guys come back, I don't know. What does Spo play the rest of the season? 9-man rotation? That gives you Bam, Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero, Wiggins. What's that? 4 locks? And then into that, do you add Jovic, I guess? You add Duncan. Burks should probably play. Highsmith. That's 8 right there. I don't know. I'm probably forgetting someone. I'll have to do a whole video on the rotation once everyone gets healthy and really deep diving. It's hard to sit some guys because even a guy like Kyle Anderson's been playing so well, but I'm just not sure that there's a spot for him in the rotation. But yeah, anyways, I do believe the Heat are going to jump back. Yeah, wow, the Bulls are down almost 40 now. So the Heat will jump back into 9th place here. And the schedule coming up, the next 2 games is a little bit rough. You got Boston on Wednesday and then Memphis on a back-to-back the nights after that. Obviously, who knows what the hell's going to happen with them now that they fired Taylor Jenkins. Is Ja Morant potentially coming to Miami? I don't know. I just seen who is this? Some NBA website put out an article about Ja to Miami. I'm going to have to make a video on that sooner than later if I find some time. But make sure y'all subscribe so you don't miss it. Like the video, comment, all that good stuff is greatly appreciated. That being said, I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, everyone.
Look, pull up in your city trying to get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.